great to meet you and talk to you about selling your home. We're here to educate you. We're here to be an advocate for you. We're here to educate you about the home selling process. And what we do with that is provide you information and knowledge.
What can a potential buyer prospect expect from working with Henry Shim Group?
When a buyer works with us, they can expect a lot of things that are unique to us. One of them is we definitely want to tell you that, hey, these things are bad, or we don't like them, we hate them. And if we can get past that point and you still love the house, then we can move forward with that process. But the biggest thing about our buying process is
What can a potential buyer prospect expect from working with Henry Shim Group?
when a buyer works with us, they can expect a lot of things that are unique to us. One of them is we definitely want to tell you everything about the house that we don't like, that we think that you might overlook. Because when you go into a new house, buyers tend to have this, big eyes, everything's new to them, and you fall in love with everything. And that's normal, that's human nature. But one thing that we definitely want to do is we want to tell you that, hey, this floor is bad. This type of countertop is not going to be great in 5 years. This roof needs work. Things that you might overlook because everything is new to you. We definitely want to tell you that, hey, these things are bad. We don't like them. We hate them. And if we can get past that point and you still love the house, then we can move forward with that process. But the biggest thing about our buying process is telling you things about the house that you might not think about, that you might overlook, because again, everything's going to be new to you, everything's going to be great. We want to tell you, hey, we hate this, we think this is terrible, we don't like this. And if you're like, hey, Henry, hey, Akash, I understand what you're saying, but I still love this house, I love the location, I'm willing to work on those things, then we can move forward with that process. And I've seen it play out every single time me and Henry are out with buyers. Henry just knows what to say, like what will work and what won't work. Because at the end of the day, you might like something, even if we tell you it's not feasible for you, but there is a dollar amount that we have to be, we have to keep in the back of mind. Like, does it make sense to buy this house because the location is great, but you have to gut the whole inside of the house? Does that make sense for you financially? And Henry's really good at kind of on the spot being like, hey, yes, you want to be in Green Lake. Yes, this is a great, great craftsman home, but it needs a whole new floor. It needs a whole new plumbing system. Does that make sense for you financially? And Henry is very experienced at kind of eyeballing and telling you, okay, in my 20 years of doing this, I've remodeled 25 of my own homes. I can tell you that, yes, this location is great, but you're looking at 20K just on the plumbing. Does that make sense for you? You're looking at a $25,000 roof. Does that make sense for you, even if the location is great, right? And I'll let Henry kind of touch a base on that a little bit because you've done this for 20 years. There is a give and take, right? There has to be a equilibrium of, okay, location's great, we can work on this, but financially it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, I mean that's spot on. It's a scenario when we go tour homes with a first-time home buyer, someone that's owned 10 homes. It doesn't matter. Our system doesn't change at all. We'll go through the home and say, okay, first thing, take off your shoes.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm Korean. It's take off your shoes. And they're like, why? It's like, you need to feel these floors. So if you're buying something in Seattle, you could be buying something in Bellevue or Edmonds or anywhere else in between. Home settle. It could be new construction. It could be a resale. Home settle. I've had clients in the past where we'd go into a house and they'd leave the second they stepped in. They're like, floors aren't even. I have vertigo. It may not bother you, but you have to keep that in the back of your mind where, hey, I could live with this, but when I resell this in 3 years and 10 years and 20 years, am I going to lose a certain demographic buyer pool saying this doesn't make sense for me? And so It is going through that house and every step of that tour saying, okay, this looks great. This is a great product. This is a beautiful remodel. Or saying, hey, it's all lath and plaster. They said they updated all the electrical. The reality is, looking at this, they probably changed out the outlets because they fished the lines in from the basement to the main floor, but you probably still have knob and tube in between the 2 floors above. They might have changed the wiring in the upstairs because that was just a unfinished attic space, but they had access to it, but they couldn't get access to everything in the walls. In a home that's lath and plaster, you have to cut everything open to see it, pull it, snake it in, do all that. So it's a situation where we want to walk you through all of those steps so you're informed. It's the funniest thing. It's the most random, simple thing you can do. Again, Seattle has tons of homes that are very old. My house is now 100 years old, 101 years old. It's a very old home. It's beautiful. We remodeled, gut remodel, but a lot of homes, even if they are been remodeled, haven't been gutted, and they say that they've changed all the systems, everything else like that. Say the basement's finished out, the main floor is obviously redone, or it's updated, top floor as well too. They say they changed out all the plumbing. It's all PEX now. It's copper, whatever it might be. Go into the bathroom, turn on the sink, turn on the shower, turn on the sink in the kitchen, flush the toilet. See what happens. If the water gaps, that means it's probably galvanized plumbing. A lot of it may have been changed out within the house. It could be just the main water line. It'll cost you a couple $1,000s to fix out, but if it's in the walls, now all that tiling that's behind in the shower, you have to open all that up. Or the sheetrock, if there's an access point for it to do it, that's obviously a lot cheaper. But there's these things where, again, to the naked eye, most people don't see it. And they get surprises after they buy the home, and they're like, Henry, we're doing the laundry, we're taking a shower, we're doing the dishwasher, we have 0 water pressure, what's going on? We don't want you to ever call us for that. We want you to know beforehand and say, okay, well, before you move in, do you want to go in there and change out the water lines? Do you want to, do a remodel before you move in so everything's perfect for the next 20 years you live here, the 30 years you live here? And so, single pane windows, everyone, there are single pane windows that are nice, right? The ones with the leaded glass, the beveled glass. It's beautiful. It's timeless, but your energy bills are high. It's cold, you get drafts.
Yeah.
So for you to change out one of these windows, let's say it costs $500 to $1,000, it would take you 30 years of energy savings to make that work, to make it worthwhile financially. But livability, you'll be a lot happier when the heat is on and it's all contained, when it's not cold, when it's freezing outside. You've got to make those decisions on your own. You've got to know that, hey, I can just crank up the heat and I'm going to have a really high gas bill, but again, it's going to cost so much more to change out all these windows in this house. It'll cost 25, 30K. We want to walk you through that process. We want to let you know that, look out for this. This is that unexpected cost. You talking about the roof needing changed out. Okay, well, you can get a 3-tab roof, which is about a third of the cost of a presidential roof. You go somewhere in the middle, which is a 25 to 30-year roof. It's a 25 to 30-year roof, but in reality, if you're not doing maintenance on it, it's more like a 20-year roof. All these little things we want to walk you through. I've seen hot water tanks that are 40 years old. They work great still. I've seen hot water tanks that are 6 years old, and you can see all the corrosion. It's leaking already. Products now are made to fail because the actual builder, the actual manufacturer wants you to buy new. Back in the day, things used to last forever. You'll still see homes with the old washer and dryers, 30 years old. They work fine. They're not pretty. They work fine. All the new ones, you're like, oh, this is 5-year-old. It's making that clunky sound. They want you to get a service call in there because they make their money off that. It's just like with cars now. They don't make a lot of money off of the actual car purchase. It's the maintenance where you make a lot of money off of. And so it's these things that we want to bring real life perspective because because I've done 25 remodels, because I've done probably 200 plus for clients. I'm not a general contractor. I'm not licensed, bought, and insured, but I know what to look for. I know because I've done it before. I've done it for myself. I've helped my clients get, connected with contractors. I can walk them through the process. I've been through thousands and thousands of home inspections. And so that 20 years of knowledge, all that information, Nakash has gone through this process as well too. He has a rental, he has his own home, all these different things where through our life experiences professionally and personally, we're able to give you a dollar amount to remodel a kitchen. We're going to give you a dollar amount to change out windows. Hey, does this make sense? Do we go from gas to electric? What are all these different notions of everything is like a lot of money. You don't have to do these things. If you want a little bit more enjoyment from living in this home, you could spend X amount of dollars. Opportunity cost. Is it worth it or is it
Yeah.
not worth it? Figure that out. And so we'll get you through that process. We'll walk you through it. And again, Akash said hate a bunch of times. I was like, I don't want to say that we hate certain dynamics of the home. We hate that you don't know. We hate that you bought this home and you're like, okay, this is happening. That's happening. Oh God, the unfinished basement or the basement's leaking. It's like, well, if we're doing our job, we're telling you what to expect, and it could happen. We want you to have that information, to have the knowledge to know that even if you go to an open house because you weren't planning on looking at houses, but after church, after dinner, after lunch, there's an open house down the street, and you're like, kind of cute house, let's go look at it. You can go in there and quantify, okay, what is it going to cost for me to fix these things, even without a caution Henry here? It's actually not worth it to bring back a caution Henry because we know that we don't have the cash available. All our money's going to the down payment and new furniture. We want you to just, again, cut out the fat, know what you can afford, because sometimes it makes more sense to go new or newer construction because you don't have the $100,000 to remodel a kitchen. You don't have the $30,000 to change out the window package, whatever it might be. Information is power. Buying a home is typically, for most people, the most expensive thing that they ever buy in their life. It's typically one of their vessels for retirement or wealth accumulation. And so you need to know that, again, a house doesn't make sense for everybody. A home, that certain home doesn't make sense for everybody. But if you have the financial wherewithal to fix things, great. Hey, all my money's tied up into stocks, I've got investments, everything else like that. I don't want to sell it because of tax purposes. Well, then we know that, okay, instead of buying something that's $500,000, that's going to cost $200,000 to remodel, maybe it makes more sense just to buy that $700,000 home and pay a little bit more, not a little bit, but pay more on your mortgage, so you can afford something that's more turnkey and has a lot more longevity versus something that needs a lot of work and costs a lot of cash up front. And so, again, the whole idea of our buying process is to educate you, to show you the ropes, walk you through the process, to know this is a good idea or this is a bad idea. So hopefully when you're touring with us and you see all these homes, you learn what we learned. You take the 27 plus 28 years of information and knowledge to know that this doesn't make sense. Actually, I'm not worried about it. I love the idea that I get to remodel this and make it perfect because Henry didn't tell you, but I have an inheritance and I've got $200,000 to make this my dream home. Beautiful. More power to you. So that's kind of where our background really helps us of owning so many homes in our lifetime and remodeling so many homes to give you that information to make that right purchase. It's great to meet you and talk to you about selling your home. We're here to educate you. You may have seen some of our videos. You may have, talked to your friends that bought or sold homes through us, but we're here to be an advocate for you. We're here to educate you about the home selling process. And what we do with that is provide you information and knowledge. It's a scenario where this may be your first home and you bought it with somebody else, and you need to figure out, how do I maximize my return on investment? Do I spend a little bit of money to sell the home at a higher price, knowing that's going to cost me money up front? Do I sell it as is, find a wholesaler, find a developer, find someone to flip it? Do I do something in between where I spend a little bit of money just to get it market ready and hope the market is in a place where, again, low competition, not a lot of inventory on the market, to still get a bidding war without spending too much money into it? In our career, 500 plus homes that we've sold, dozens of homes that we've owned ourselves, rentals, etc. We've got the experience to walk you through your home and say, hey, a buyer is going to hate this wall. Does that make sense to remove this wall? It's a pretty big undertaking, but maybe it is. Hey, you've got this dirty carpet. We try to steam clean it. It's not coming out. Do we put hardwood floors in? Do we replace it with carpet? What should we do? We'll walk you through that process. You've got all these unique colors in the walls and you love it. This is your style. This home is exactly what you wanted, but you're selling this to the masses. Should we go in there and white wall your whole place, let the staging do its job? What we'll do if you decide to move forward and work with us is to show you the things that will get you the biggest return on investment. And that could be a kitchen remodel because your kitchen's so dated. It could be new carpet and paint. It could be redoing your floors, changing out a roof that is going to get called out during inspection. We have the contractors, we have the people to get you through that process in an efficient way to make sure that your money is going as far as it can to make this place look as beautiful as possible to the biggest demographic of buyers. So we'll go through that process with you. Also, if you're in a scenario where you're trying to figure out what my next step is in this home buying process, we want to keep it as is. We don't want to spend the money, or you want to go through that remodel. We'll go in there and we'll bring our team to, again, get multiple bids for contractors to see what the work's going to cost. We'll go through and we'll bring our staging team in there to make your space look perfect for what it is. You have smaller bedrooms? That's fine. Our staging crew that we've worked with for 2 decades will put the best furniture so each space looks bigger, more open, brighter. And then we have this awesome photographer, media team that goes in there. We'll do a video tour of the space. We'll do aerial shots. We'll do a 3D tour. We will get as many eyes and as much exposure on your home, both in print, digitally, through word of mouth, our brokerage, all the people that we know in the industry, almost 3 decades of combined work experience in real estate to get as many eyes on this home as possible. We're very fortunate that we've had a lot of success over these past 3 decades, and we know that the brokers that work these areas know who we are. So we're able to get them to come out. We're able to host open houses and bring new people coming in that may not think they're looking for a home, but they rent a house three doors down. They want to come see it. We'll always have open houses to make sure that people that their agents out of town, they want to still look at it. They only need to come through your house one time to fall in love. And so we're going to get as many people through that door as possible. And that's through our marketing, that's through our advertising, that's through our open houses, that's through, again, contacting other brokers in the area that have seen and sold lots of homes in the area. We want to use all of our connections and our contacts to make sure that we're getting as many people in the door to hopefully get you multiple offers. And again, maybe it's not a perfect home, at least get you that one offer for the price that we decided that this home is worth. We're really hands-on through the process. And so, our clients, I would say probably 9 out of 10 times, they give us the keys and then they let us do our job.
Mhm.
If you're the type of person that wants to be hands-on, fantastic. We're going to go through a remodel. You want to make the pieces, the choices for what we're doing in the kitchen, cabinets, colors-wise, painting the house interior, exterior. Of course, this is your home. We will listen to you, but we will always give you our advice as professionals to try to get this home sold as quickly as possible and for the highest dollar amount. But again, 9 out of 10 clients say, "Hey, Henry, do what you do. We trust you." And we'll go in there and we'll get our contractors in, we'll get our stagers in, we'll get our photographer, our videographer, we'll get our marketing team all put together where we blast this home from start to finish to get exposure, to get it market ready, and to get it sold. Akash, what other things that do we do, to really make your home shine?
It's such a long process that I think one thing that we do very well is to personalize it. Every single home sale is different. Every single situation is different. Every single person is moving for a different reason. And with your experience and my experience, I think one of the things that we will make sure is to make each one of these experiences personalized to you. It's not a cookie cutter thing where it's going to be the same every single time. We've done this enough times where we know that you might be moving because something work related, job related, family related, whatever the reason is, we want to make sure that you know that we will personalize this to your liking, and however long it takes, whatever you need to get done, we will be there on the back end to make sure that you are taken care of, that you have your questions answered, and that at the end of the day that you're getting what you want. It is a big process. It can be a headache. You're moving, you have family. We don't want this to become another headache on top of it. And we will do whatever it takes to make sure that you get the maximum amount of profit you want. Or sometimes people just want to be done with it and it's not about the money, they just need to move. Whatever that situation is, we'll make sure that you feel like you're the only person we're working with. And that's something that is definitely the core of a Henry Shim Group, is making sure that you feel like we're only working with you.
One of the big things that we will provide as well too on the selling side, and again, a lot of companies have some concierge service, but oftentimes a home may need work, and the seller may not have the means to actually spend the money to get it market ready. You know, professionally, we will take the onus. We'll take ownership of the home in the sense that we'll get it ready for market and then we'll get reimbursed. You get to keep all the profits. We don't want, spending $30,000 on a home remodel and you make $100,000 more. We're not asking for a cut of that. We want you to keep that money because you deserve it. You just weren't in a position at that time to actually spend that money. And so that's another service that we provide out of our pocket to make sure that you're not leaving money on the table either, that we're not putting a product out there that doesn't look good, that won't sell. At the end of the day, you're hiring us to do a job. We may know you personally, you may be a referral from your brother, your coworker, whoever it might be, but at the end of the day, we're hired to do a job, and that's to make you as much money as possible.
Yeah.
But caution isn't wrong. There may be scenarios that, God forbid, there's a passing in the family, a separation between, partners, a job relocation, all things that are difficult. We want to make it as easy as possible for you. And so if it's something where you just give us the keys before we do anything, we'll get you some bids, make sure the numbers look right. If you're comfortable with it, show what X costs to get it done, what you should expect to get when you sell the place because of that investment. And if you're comfortable moving forward with it, we'll take care of it for you. It's a situation where I would probably guess in the last 5 years or so, I would probably guess at least 75% of the homes that we list, we invest our own money into getting it ready for market to make you more money than what it's worth in as is condition, because people want turnkey, people want clean, people want move-in ready, and because of that, a small investment, and again, it's actually a big investment, can get you a lot further.
Mhm.
And again, in a slow market too, it's a situation where it may get you sold faster than the four other houses down on the block because those aren't turnkey. Someone's gonna have to go buy this home, pay a premium for it, and then spend more money to fix it up. We want to again get those people out of the way and say, this is the marquee home in the neighborhood. Don't look at these, or you can, but this is the best one. Let's make an offer on that one. And so, again, it's all about being transparent. We want to walk you through the process. We want to show you the numbers, what it looks like for you, what a value you can get by a small investment. And again, we've done, it's not easy for us, but we've listed homes literally a week after meeting somebody. Ideally, if we're doing, work or anything like that, we get a little bit more lead time.
Yeah.
But again, we work for you. We want to work with you, and we want to get you what you need. And so, whether that's maximum profit, whether that's quickest time on the market while still making good money off of the sale, or anything in between, we're there to nurture that relationship, make an experience that all of us can enjoy, and at the end of the day, making you a little bit of money as well too. So we really just want to walk you through the process and let you do what you feel is the best fit with our professional perspective.